Hello everyone, I'm Julia Donaldson and I'm very excited because I've got a new book coming out very soon and I'm going to give you a sneak preview. It's called The Teeny Weeny Genie. In fact, it's going to be more of a preview because I'm going to tell you the story in a minute. And also later on you're going to see Anna Currey, the illustrator, draw some of the pictures. She's a brilliant illustrator. I'm so glad to be working with her again. We've done 2 books in the past. This one, which is one of my favourites, One Ted Falls Out of Bed, and this one, Rosie's Hat. But they were quite a while ago, so it's lovely to be working with Anna again. But first, the story of the Teeny Weeny Genie. Old Macdonald had a farm, and on that farm he had a farmhouse. And in that farmhouse he had a cupboard, and in that cupboard he had a teapot, and in that teapot lived a teeny weeny blue genie. The genie liked it in the teapot, and old Macdonald didn't like tea, so life was nice and peaceful. That is, until the day when old Macdonald decided to clean out the cupboard. "I'll give this dusty old teapot a wash," he said. And when he started to rub it dry, the genie wafted out of the spout. "What is your wish?" asked the genie. "Oh, could you manage a new tractor?" asked the farmer. "My old one's awfully rusty." The genie puffed himself up and said, "A, B, C and X, Y, Z, gobbledygook and garlic bread." He rubbed his tummy and patted his head, and a bright red tractor appeared. "Oh, thank you. Let's go for a ride round the farm," said old Macdonald. So they did. It was a very loud tractor. Chugga chugga, vroom vroom. The farm was very loud too. Whack whack, bah bah, moo moo. The genie blocked his ears. "This farm is a lot of work," said the farmer. "I wish I had a wife to help me." The genie puffed himself up and said, "A, B, C and X, Y, Z, cauliflower cheese and chocolate spread." He rubbed his tummy and patted his head, and a woman appeared. She was carrying a large suitcase. "Hello, husband," she said. "I'm Mrs. Macdonald." After a quick cuddle and a tractor ride, old Macdonald asked, "What's in that suitcase?" "Oh, all my clothes," said Mrs. Macdonald. "I wish I had some wood and a saw and a drill and a hammer and some nails. Then I could build a wardrobe to keep them in." The genie puffed himself up and said, "A, B, C and X, Y, Z, gooseberry green and raspberry red." He rubbed his tummy and patted his head, and the wood and tools appeared. Mrs. Macdonald set to work. The saw and the drill and the hammer were very loud. Whirr, whirr, ee, ee, bang, bang. The genie blocked his ears again. "Oh, there's some wood left over," said Mrs. Macdonald, and she made a cradle. Then they wished for a baby to put in it. The baby was very loud too. Wah, wah, wah. Mrs. Macdonald wished for a rattle, but that just made the baby cry even more. "I think he's wishing for a dog," said the genie. No sooner had the dog appeared than he wished for a bone. The bone was nice and quiet. But then the dog wished for a cat to chase. Woof, woof, meow, meow. The cat ran away from the dog and climbed up a tree. "Oh, she's stuck," said old Macdonald, and he wished for some firefighters to come and rescue her. They appeared in a very loud fire engine. Nee-no, 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 nee-no. One of the firefighters climbed up a ladder to rescue the cat, while the others stood around wishing for things. They wished for a trumpet, an electric guitar and a drum kit. Let's have a band practice, they said. It was a very loud band practice. Toot, toot, thrum-de-thrum, thump, thump. The genie was getting a terrible headache. As soon as the cat was down from the tree, she wished for some mice. The mice wished for a ball and a very loud whistle. Feep, feep! Then they all started to play football until the mouse, who was the ref, got fed up with that and wished to be Super Mouse instead. Then the cat wished to be Super Cat, the dog wished to be Super Dog, the Macdonalds wished to be Super Farmers, the firefighters wished to be Super Fighters, the baby wished to be Super Baby, and they all flew around bumping into each other. Whiz, whiz, bang, crash. Oh, I can't stand this a minute longer, said the genie. I wish they'd all go away. But nothing happened. And then the genie remembered. I'm not allowed to wish for myself, only for other people. Hoping that no one was looking, he slunk back into the farmhouse. Perhaps they'll leave me in peace if I get back into my dear old teapot, he said. He stroked the teapot fondly and then got the surprise of his life when out of the spout wafted another genie. This one was green. What were you doing in my teapot? Asked the blue genie. Trying to get some peace and quiet, said the green genie. That's what I want, said the blue genie, but I know I can't make my own wish come true. But I can, said the green genie. I can wish for you, and you can wish for me. Then he puffed himself up and said, A, B, C and X, Y, Z, broccoli broth and breakfast in bed. He rubbed his tummy and patted his head, and the teapot grew a pair of wings. Jump in, let's go, said the green genie. The teapot carried the two genies out of the farmhouse, away from the farm, over the hills and through the clouds. Then it came gently down to rest on a beautiful beach. The only sound was the lapping of the waves on the shore. The two genies had a little paddle. Then the green genie wished for another teapot and some teacups, and the blue genie made that wish come true. After their cup of tea, the two genies climbed into the first teapot and fell asleep. Please don't disturb them if you ever find that teapot on the beach. Or if you really feel you have to, just make one wish. Think very hard. What will that wish be? I wonder what you would wish for if you met that genie. Have you had a think? But if you do find the teapot, you will be nice and quiet, and don't wish for anything noisy, because he wouldn't like that, and neither would the green genie either. Well, now it's time to hand over to Anna Currey, who did the pictures for that book, and she's going to do some drawing for you.
Thank you, Julia. Today we're going to draw a cat from the Teedy Weeny Genies. I'm very fond of this cat. It's a surprised cat, and it's got a lot to be surprised about. I've armed myself with a rubber, a pencil and a pen, and I've got various colours here and a paintbrush, of course. So I'm going to begin by drawing the cat's eyes. As I say, he's a very surprised cat, so I'm just doing it quite lightly in pencil first, and I'm just beginning with his eyes and with some stripes on his forehead and his ears, whiskers, and rather a sweet little nose, because it's quite a young cat still, almost like a kitten. And we won't worry too much about detail, because we shall paint him in a minute. Paws. And he's got very furry, because the cat I had was called Thistle. She looked just like this. And I called her Thistle because her tummy and all the fur underneath looked like thistledown. The stripes are very important. And I give her stripes all down the back. little black paws and a tail, slightly furry too. And quite a lot of fur. So here we have the basic cat. And I thought this time I'm using a ballpoint pen, an ordinary ballpoint pen, because I can paint over it and it won't run. Normally I draw over the lines later, but because this won't run, I'm going to do it first. And that will make the cat much firmer. And we'll just do the stripes, do them in slightly, do the nose slightly. As you see, I'm not being too fussy about the outlines. When you have a lot of time, you can take more time at it, but I want to get her done quite quickly. Only my pen's running out, which isn't a help. There we are, we can get the pen to last at least until I've got her tail done and the stripes in. And we're going to make her very surprised by giving her some eyebrows and some little marks above her head, because she must have seen something. And now, because this is a ballpoint pen and it doesn't run, that means I can just paint straight on top. Normally with ink I'd do the lines afterwards. But this time we shall just do her straight, do an underlying brown colour. I've got the colours all mixed up on some jam pot lids, so they're all ready. And when that first layer of paint has dried in a second or two, we'll give her some pinkish ears, I think. That would be quite nice. So I love giving animals pink ears. I don't know why, but it just sort of amuses me. Slightly pinky nose too. There we are. And we'll also give her green eyes, bright green, wide eyes. And I think to make her front, the fur under her chin, look slightly white, we'll put a tiny bit of blue paint there, because that makes things look a bit white. And I think, what about her stripes being dark, dark brown? There we are. Dark brown paws. And here we are. When that's completely dry, we can rub out any pencil lines that show, but we won't do that now because we won't have time. And here we have it. We have one very surprised pussycat from the teeny weeny genie. Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Thank you so much, Anna. I do really love watching the people who illustrate my book do their drawings, because that's something I don't usually see. I'm in my house writing the stories and they're in their houses doing the drawings, and I only ever see the drawings when they're done, so this is a special opportunity for me. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's broadcast, and I hope you'll join me next week when I'm going to be telling you a story set in the seaside. It's called Sharing a Shell, and it's the first book I ever wrote which was illustrated by Lydia Monks, and Lydia's going to be here doing some drawing for you. So hope to see you then. Bye.